Hey sis, welcome back to the Kingdom Sisterhood. Today, I just want to really keep it real. Come on in, sit down, and let's have a really open, honest, transparent conversation. There is a quiet ache that a lot of us carry, but we rarely talk about it. The ache of feeling like maybe we missed our moment. Sometimes it feels like everyone else is moving forward while we got left behind. They figured out their purpose. They're building, creating, speaking, and showing up. And meanwhile, you're sitting with dreams that you haven't touched in months, maybe even years. And you can't help but start to wonder, God, did you forget me? Did I miss it? Did I just make up this calling that I believe I have? And then you try to dismiss it. You scroll, you serve, you smile. But late at night, that quiet ache, it returns. That one that whispers you are made for more, but somehow you just can't seem to move. And I want you to know this. I see you. But more importantly, God sees you. Isaiah 49:16 says, "See, I have engraved you on the palm of my hands. Your walls are ever before me." See, he hasn't overlooked you. He hasn't changed his mind about you. He's not disappointed in your delay, but he is inviting you into obedience, even if it's late, even if you're scared, even if you think that you should be further along than you are right now. Because delayed obedience doesn't cancel the calling. It just postpones the fruit. And I don't know what your version of obedience looks like today. Maybe it's starting that ministry. Maybe it's recording a video. Maybe it's writing the thing that you've been wanting to do, sharing the story, launching the dream, forgiving the person. Maybe it's applying for that job. Maybe it's finally doing the thing that you've been sitting on because fear got too loud. We call it waiting on God, but what if he's actually waiting on us? James 1 verse 22 says, "Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." Obedience is not about being fearless. It's about being faithful. It's showing up scared with a trembling voice, shaking hands and saying, "Okay, God, I will trust you more than I will trust my fear." When God called Moses, Moses said, "I'm not a good speaker." When he called Gideon, Gideon said, "But I am the least of the least." And when he called Jeremiah, Jeremiah said, "I'm too young." Does this sound familiar to you? The making excuses that feel so valid on why you can't? You are not the first woman to feel inadequate for the assignment, but God has never needed your perfection, only your yes. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, people might not get it. And yes, you'll be tempted to shrink back. But obedience isn't about the applause. It's about alignment. And when your heart says yes to what God is asking, even when it doesn't make sense, heaven moves. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." So even in the delay, even in the silence, even in the detour, it's not wasted. God is still weaving it into your purpose. But at some point, you've got to stop asking for confirmation and just start walking in conviction. The woman God is calling you to become, she is already in you. You just need to give her permission to rise. So start scared. Start small. Start with tears in your eyes and a pit in your stomach. But just start. Because when you move in obedience, even in weakness, God meets you with his strength. Isaiah 40 verse 29 says, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." So you don't have to do this in your own power. You were never meant to. Let this be the moment that you stop disqualifying yourself and start believing in God again. He hasn't forgotten you and you haven't missed it. And this ache inside of your heart, it is just a holy reminder that your purpose still matters. So if your heart's been aching and your spirit's been quiet, wondering if it's too late, let me say this slowly because I want it to land. You're not behind. You didn't miss your moment. God doesn't operate on your timeline. He operates on trust. And he's not asking you to leap. He's asking you to lean on him, to lean into his word. You can take a shaky step and still be in the center of his will. You can have fear in your chest and still be called faithful. You don't need the perfect plan, and you don't need the loud voice. You don't need to feel like a leader. You just have to be willing to move. And I know that it's hard to move when people around you just don't understand the weight that you're carrying. When you feel like nobody sees the tension between the life you're living and the life God keeps whispering into your heart. But if no one claps, even if no one validates it, God does. He sees every quiet yes, every brave whisper of, okay, Lord, I'm scared, but I'll go. He sees the journal pages, the prayers. He sees the tears that no one else has ever seen. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are his. And if you need someone to remind you, that's me. I'm here reminding you as many times as it takes. But listen to me here, because this part matters. God never promised that the journey was going to be easy, so stop expecting it to be. Stop scrolling through social media thinking that if it's really God's will, everything's going to fall in place effortlessly, because that's not the truth. That is the trap. You're going to face redirection. You're going to wrestle with disappointment. There will be moments of discouragement where the very thing God called you to do feels harder than you ever thought it would be. But here's what God did promise: that he would be with you, that he would strengthen you, that he would work all things out, even in the detours, for your good. So the question is, will you trust him anyway? Will you trust the call even when it's heavy? Will you believe the promise even when the path is unclear? Because he hasn't changed his mind about you. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us that he declares that he has a plan for good for you, a plan to give you hope in a future. And that word is still true for you right here, right now. You were made for more, and that begins with your next step. Not your next title, not your next accomplishment, just the next step. So don't run from the ache, bring it to God. Don't hide your fear, move through it with him. Don't wait for the crowd, follow the whisper. If this message found you today, I want you to know that it wasn't random, and this was for you. You're not alone. I'm with you, and more importantly, God is with you. If you want more encouragement like this, go ahead and like this video, subscribe for more, and share it with a woman who might be sitting in the same silence that you were. You weren't made to walk this road alone, and you don't have to. Kingdom Sisterhood is available to you. So start scared, but start knowing and believing and trusting that heaven is cheering you on. Stay encouraged. I'll see you in the next video.